king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain!
What's good, YouTube? In today's video I will show you how to build your Gyre for level 0 to 9999 steel path enemies in Warframe. Let's get to it. Welcome back, Tano. I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. Gyre passive. Gyre abilities have a 10% chance to deal critical damage for each electrical status that affects the enemy. What the in-game passive doesn't tell you that Gyre abilities gain a flat 10% critical chance per active electricity statue proc, affecting an individual enemy to deal 2 times critical damage against that enemy. The bonus will stack additively with her third ability, Cathode Grace, that increases your critical chance for her abilities. And the passive and Cathode Grace combined provides up to maximum 300% ability critical chance. And even from the passive alone, a minimum of 30 electricity stacks will reach the capped ability critical chance. And because there is something with critical chance comes the critical tier, so Gyre abilities can reach orange and red critical multipliers to inflict 3 times and 4 times ability critical damage. From the passive alone, orange crits starts at 11 stacks for 110% critical chance, and red crits for 21 stacks for 210% critical chance respectively. Gyre first ability, Arc Sphere. You will create a giratory sphere that will deal electricity to all enemies in that area. Now, of course, the Arc Sphere is affected by the passive, so it can reach 300% critical chance from this ability, and of course, it's affected from Cathode Grace, the third ability as well. Gyre second ability, Coil Horizon. You throw forward a giratory sphere that will implode after a few seconds or can be manually triggered, and when it implodes, it will bring in enemies. Think of it like a small vortex. It proc electricity and also affected from her passive for 300% critical chance, and the Cathode Grace, of course. Now, with an augment, which is the new one, Coil Recharge. Giratory sphere can be recalled. Okay, so you press the ability again, you bring it back to you. Enemies in its radius suffer 500 electricity damage, and chain other enemies pulled into detonation suffer additionally discharge, and you can send it back and hit it with your melee weapon to push it forward as well. Cathode Grace, Gyre third ability. You will get a critical chance buff for your weapons and your abilities, and you will get energy regenerating. Now, the critical chance will stack additively with your weapons and will stack additively with your passive. Makes this ability something you don't want to take off for any reasons like helminth abilities or stuff like that. Now, the downside of this ability is like when you press it, if you don't kill enough to keep it active, it will go into a 60-second cooldown. So when you activate this ability, make sure you kill very fast everything, okay? It's like a fast-paced ability. Now, the augment, it has Cathode Current. Cathode Grace augment. Eliminating an enemy with Cathode Grace is active will release an additional discharge from Rotor's Well with 200% damage and extend its duration by the same amount. Makes it really powerful augment. Gyre fourth ability, Rotor's Well. Gyre mechanism, spin and incredible speed means it will increase your movement speed as well. Generating an electricity field will inflict electricity on enemies. But that's not the most powerful part of this ability. The most powerful part is that when you hit an enemy, okay, with a critical hit, you will create a large electrical discharge, and that will chain from the enemy that was hit to nearby enemies. And that leads us back to the Cathode Grace augment, which is this one. Eliminating an enemy while Cathode Grace is active will release an additional discharge from Rotor's Well. Makes this a very deadly combination. And of course, all her abilities benefit from the passive and the Cathode Grace critical chance increase up to 300%, and that will lead to an increase of the tier of the critical damage. Now let's talk about what you want to replace for her kit. Now, Rotor's Well, you don't replace it. It's an amazing CC, gives you movement speed, and the discharge is really amazing, and synergize well with Cathode Grace, third ability Augment. Makes it awesome with the extra discharge of 200%. Very good. Now remember, these discharge and they will not kill level cap by itself. So it's more into a CC. It deals nice damage, okay, to low to mid game, but it's a nuking, but it's not for level cap. Coil Horizon is really awesome CC to pull in enemies, broken electricity and all. With the augment you can throw back the ball, you know, like baseball playing. Now Arc Sphere is really awesome when it comes to corridors, but this is the one you want to replace for helminth abilities. When it comes to helminth abilities, there is not a lot I can think of. Maybe you got Roar, you got Nourish, you got Tempest Barrage, you got, for example, Quiver if you want to go invisible, you got, for example, even Resonator if you want to distract the enemies. You know, like, depends. Pillage, Gloom, depends what style you want to play her. Now remember, always experimenting and having fun is the most important in Warframe. And here we are in Simulacrum, showcasing her kit. First ability, the Arc Sphere. As you can see, it's really nice when, for example, you are in a corridor or something, but in open areas where you move a lot, I don't really recommend it. And this is the one you want to replace for helminth ability, but if not, just keep her kit. It's really cool. The second ability, the Coil Horizon, it's a ball will be sent right there, and when it's spend certain time, and then it will detonate itself and pull in enemies, or you can manually do it by sending it where you want and then tap again, and you will bring all enemies in. Now if we use the augment for it right about here, the Coil Recharge, now things will be different, as this will become a way better ability, to be honest. Now there you go, bring it back, and then we can hit it with melee weapon, bring it back. Now what we're doing is we're bringing them more stacks of electricity for more critical chance without using the third ability. As you can see, we're already on red crits. Look at this, bring it in, boom 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 boom. Like high attack speed weapons will deal crazy. And as you can see, level 225 heavy corrupted gunners already dead with electricity. Now the third ability, now on the other hand, it's a bit tricky. Now how tricky? Now when you buff yourself, you will have, for example, 8 seconds to kill an enemy, for example this guy. Now I got more time, so you have to perform kills, okay, to make sure the ability lasts, okay. Otherwise what happen is 9, 10, don't do anything. Here is the worst case scenario, 30-second cool down, and you cannot recast this ability at all, okay. Simple as that. So you want to keep killing while the ability is active. Now fourth ability, there we go. Now what happens is, this area, if you get it in, as you can see, you will inflict those enemies with electricity stacks. Look at that, and you keep stacking and stacking and stacking, makes it really amazing. Okay, now when you hit one guy, you will trigger the shockwave. See that? Look, I'll just move a little bit away. See the shockwave? There you go. Look, boom, boom. Activate it again. See the shockwave? That's connecting the enemy together. Yeah, like Vault. Yeah. So now if we use the augment on the third ability for the 200%, which is this one right about here. Alright, there you go. And you can't proceed, like you cannot push the 200% more further even with ability strength. So here we go, activating the fourth ability, getting ready. Right, let's get some Incarn here ready so we don't lose the third ability. Activating, and now if I take this guy, we get the shock wave. There you go. Now we don't want to lose the second ability, guys. Third ability. We don't want to lose this third ability at all. So you keep going, and your shockwaves will keep going and going and going and going, creating a very, very powerful shockwaves to eliminate those enemies. Now remember, there is no like strength or anything in here. So as long as you keep killing, you'll be fine. Then we will bring them in with Coil Horizon. Hit this, boom. This here. Now you can hold the ability if you want to detonate it even with the augment. Okay, so don't get confused in that. That's something you wanna keep in mind. And now for the build. In the aura, brief respite. The energy you spend for your abilities will be converted to shields. But why we do that? We do that for the shield gating. What is shield gating? every time in Warframe you lose your shield, you don't die. You actually enter a phase called Gate. In that gate, you will be invulnerable for certain duration, depends on how much shields you have. Now, if you have 1150 shields, you will be invulnerable for 2.5 seconds and you cannot exceed that. Only Hildrin capable of exceeding that to 3.5 seconds and his teammates. Simple as that. So the idea of shield gating is every time we lose our shields and screen shakes, we use any of our abilities ASAP to get back shields, so we don't wait for the shield regenerating, which is even 0.2 seconds, even if you have a lot of shields and running a full shield regenerating tank. Now, in the aura, in this Exodus, we're gonna run Prime Sure-Footed. Now, if you don't have Prime Sure-Footed, and I hope DE put Prime Sure-Footed on Baroqueteer for Thanos to get that. Okay, what you wanna run? You wanna run the Hand Spring. Hands down, the best one, faster recovery until you get Prime Sure-Footed. Otherwise, run Strength or Range and you'll be fine. Now, Primed Continuity for duration, Primed Flow for energy max, Fast Deflection for shield recharge and shield recharge delay, Archon Stretch for ability range and ability that deals electricity, which is our case. Okay, restore 2 energy over 5 seconds and so on. Primed Redirection for the shields. Without it, you will be 650, so you will have 1.8. Okay, I want my full 2.5. Okay, Rolling Guard on dodge, become invulnerable for 3 seconds and remove all statue effects for 7 seconds. Now this is amazing because, you know, in a bad situation or something happen, a fire and whatever, this is what's going to save you. Viral Tempest is for the helmet ability you're going to be using, which is Tempest Barrage. So we're going to armor strip enemies with corrosive using the 2 Emerald Archon shards we're going to show you in a second. Okay, and we're going to get viral, making enemies vulnerable to their HP damage 325% at 10 stacks. Makes it a very, very, very deadly helmet ability in here. And since we are shield recharging tank, we can just go out there and proc our Tempest Barrage without a worry. Vigilante Vigor to the shield recharge and minus shield recharge delay. And the Vigilante 10% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. Arcane Energize for energy. Arcane Aegis is a key here and you must have it if you want to go for this build. If you're not gonna go for this build and you don't have Arcane Aegis, remove this, remove this, remove this, and then put catalyzing shields and put some strength and you'll be fine until you get the Arcane Aegis. Keep that in mind. Okay, now what Arcane Aegis does, on shield damage 3% chance for 30% shield recharge for 12 seconds. Simple as that. Okay, now when it comes to companion, the companion we're going to be using Nautilus Prime, and I'm going to be using this build. Alright, why this build? We're going to be using Guardian, boosts his own shield by 100% when it runs out. And we're going to be using the shield charger, increase Warframe max shield and shield regeneration by 60% for 10 seconds. And then we're going to run Varglass, run any weapon you want. This is not about the companion. If you're looking for a full in-depth Nautilus build, it's in the channel already. Now, when it comes to Archon shards, we'll run 2 Emerald Archon shards to armor strip enemies using our Tempest Barrage. If you don't like my way of proccing viral and armor stripping, check the sheet right here. It will move you around how you can change things to armor strip and viral because they are very important. Now, 15% ability strength from the Tau Forged Crimson Archon shard, casting speed from Amber Archon shard, and the Tau Forged Violet Archon shard for like equilibrium style for 30-30 energy to health and health to energy. You get the idea in there. All right, simple as that. Now don't worry, I know you want to use the augments and all. Don't worry, I get to that in a second. Now, of course, when you planning on using for example, this one, the cathode current instead of viral tempest, which the case that you're not using Tempest Barrage, you're gonna throw cathode current in here. Now you'd say, why not the coil recharge? Coil recharge is really awesome and all, but you have to equip them both. So if you're not going for shield recharging tank, and then yes, you want to put this one in here and this one in here, and then you put catalyzing shields in here, and you'll be pretty much good. So you see, guys, I gave you already like 3 ideas of 3 different builds already. Okay, so now pretty much ready. You can add something extra from Vazarin Guardian if you are insecure about your shield recharging and how your reaction. Guardian Shell, the first ability from Vazarin. Use the first ability to manifest a barrier on the operator and allies in infinity range. It's invulnerable for 4 seconds when first created and damage inflicted, while its invulnerability will be added to the base of 500. But this is not what you care about. What you care about is Guardian Break. When a Guardian Shell breaks, Warframe shield regeneration rate is increased by 150%, regeneration delay is reduced by 80%. You are almost pretty much like Gauss already. Okay, so let's take a look how this tanking and the build performs. And here we are in Simulacrum, releasing level 225 heavy corrupted gunners. Now remember, if the Arcane Aegis is not active, you are vulnerable to die. So remember, now as you can see, there is no way they can kill me right now. But you're not gonna be standing still in reality and just like watching them. Like for example, Arcane Aegis is off, I'll just roll guard and I have 0.2 seconds and I just like, you know, stay alive for that. Now, using the fourth ability will give me my shield back, and then I'm gonna be using Tempest Barrage. I'll be using third ability and I'll be killing enemies in. Alright, there we go. Poking them in. Boom, 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 boom. And then you can kill them however you want. They're already dead, by the way. Okay, just I didn't even use my my weapons, and I already got like 52 seconds right there. So she's like a Warframe of chaos, to be honest. Okay, so using for example Latron, okay, because it's AoE weapon and it will perform again to the fourth ability, Shockwave. Look at that. It's insane stuff, guys. It's insane stuff. So if you want to stand still even when Arcane Aegis is not active, you want to cast Buzzarin first ability, and then what happen is when they break the Guardian, and you will get the shield recharge and the shield recharge delay, and you'll pretty much like so, and you keep activated every time you feel yourself in danger. If you're running Buzzarin, you can dash on yourself and you are invulnerable anyway. And to be honest, listen, you don't have to follow the build the way it is. You can just inspire from it, alright? You don't have to build around shield recharging. It's okay. That's why I'm gonna show you another build now. Here we go. The build for nuking, brief respite. The same thing. We're gonna have like 1.8 seconds until shield are regained, and you're gonna be invulnerable. You'll be fine. And the 1 second shield recharge delay, you can cover that with brief respite, rolling guard for bad situations. And then you're running 235% range, 154 strength, and duration 155. More than enough. Mold augmented, arcane energized. Now, I'll be using dispensary in here since we're running a negative efficiency with high duration, high strength. We got a higher chance of extra pickup, and we're good to go. And even we got equilibrium in the Tau Forge Viola chart. Now, this build is really powerful, really amazing, and you can even try and take it to level cap. Just remove dispensary from there and equip something else, like for example, let's say quiver, so you're invisible and nuking them in. So let's try this build, how it actually performs. So technically, you will be using the dispensary, of course. Fourth ability in, as you can see, you can reach a very nice area, and then you'll be casting the second ability, and then you'll be bringing it in, hitting it with your melee, send it back, bringing it in. Third ability active. Okay, I always cast it before like they almost die, so I can get that bonus always. There you go. So I like to use this one maybe for elite sanctuary and slout, so let's take it there. And here we are in Sanctuary. All you have to do is run around, cast the second ability, bringing it in, throw it there, cast dispensary, and you keep running and everything will be dying in your way. And then all you have to do, like from here and there, just like hit an enemy, and the discharge shockwave will do the rest for you. That's all you have to do. Simple as that. Look at that. Boom, dead. Nothing will stand in your way. As you can see, we are holding at 100%. So let's go to Elite Sanctuary. And here we are in the Elite Sanctuary. All you have to do is like hit the first target that you see and let the shockwave do the rest. Look at that. Boom. Run around. Second ability, third ability active all the time. Mamma mia. As you can see, red grids here and there from the abilities. Look at that. The shockwave is really insane, guys, to be honest. Amazing. And then you can keep recall the second ability every time that you want to. Go, 83%. Because they are just enemies are in different levels. The map, there we go. Like I don't really like show builds in simulacrum and like stuff like that. I stopped showing builds a long time ago, even in void mode. But for today, I will show you even void mode how this build performs in there. There we go. Now this is you trying to nuke, probably. And this is probably some Thanos what will be looking for. To nuke the map, and there you go, 100% in Elite Sanctuary. Now this is, remember, this is not Vault, guys, alright? This is not Vault, but still, very good. Let's go to, for example, Void mode. And of course, for the sake of the experiment, we will just like change the helminth and change the build towards this 220% range, 154 strength, 128 duration, 100% efficiency, fury for melee weapon, brief respite, same process, cathode for the shock discharge and stuff like that. And now we're gonna be using Wrathful Advance from Kullervo. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna be using maybe, let's go, so we don't use Glaive, let's go for example with Falcor, the build I released already, with the Galvanized, and with melee influence, and you're pretty much good to go. Let's check it out in, you know, Void mode. So the gameplay will be easy as this. Activating 4th ability, 3rd ability, and then all you have to do is this. Alright, there you go. 2nd ability, keep it active. If you want to bring in enemies, hold it again. There you go. And melee influence going in with that, and the 4th ability with high range. Wrathful Advance, and you can use this with any glaive, to be honest, or any melee weapon that you want, and we nuke the map. So this is exactly the perfect example when I say, guys, always keep experimenting. There is no build written on stone, and there is nothing called perfect. Just keep trying and checking out what fits you, try different helminth abilities, try different stuff, and there you go. This is like the perfect example right about here. I mean, what else more? If you want to move, we can move around. There you go. With the CC we got, an influence with electricity, roll guard. There you go. Boom. Easy as that. Boom. Every time we lose our shield gate. There we go. With brief respite. Keep moving. Go. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do, friend. That's it. Running around, killing enemies, keeping your 3rd ability active. And that's all you care about. How can I make the game easier than this for you boys? That's it. In the end and the conclusion, Gyre is really amazing Warframe. It's a must-have. And she's very powerful. You can build her around so many things that I cannot even cover in one video. But if you learned something in this video, that you can always move around the build. It's not copy-paste. I don't want you to copy-paste, okay? I want you to always learn something, try to figure, try to come up with a different synergy. You can just inspire and that's it, okay? Or you can just copy-paste. It's not a problem, but improve from there forward. I want to say special thanks to everybody that supported the channel in any way by liking or subscribing or following me on Twitch or joining my Discord. Special thanks for all of the nation, the Top G, Free Hate, Kalurek, Allfreed, Victor, Mr. V, Mika, Awes, Milan, Noobmaster, special VIPs, Drake, Kaka, Illusion, Allfreed, and everybody supporting the channel. And I will see you guys next time.